For a couple of hours on a Saturday afternoon, this church parking lot in London, Ontario is buzzing. Not with cars or church members racing into the sanctuary, but members of the community in need of help. With free school supplies being given away, bike repairs, clothing, haircuts, and live entertainment, not to mention the ever-popular face paint. For some, this is a godsend.
We get to play games like hockey and face painting and stuff. So yeah, it's really fun.
They just tend to like to come because it's a community thing and they get to play with their friends and have fun.
This church has done a lot. They have a food bank here once every end of the month. They have the free clothing, they have the toys giveaway, the free school supplies, the activities, the music. It's actually something pretty interesting to be.
5 years ago, North Park Community Church decided to get out of their four walls and get involved in their community. Now in their 16th event, the community looks forward to these outreaches, especially days before school starts.
This specific event is called our Back to School Party. And we want,
Director of Community Outreach and organizer of this event, David Cottrill.
And we want children to be prepared for school, so we know that with a lot of the families in this community are very large. Many have 4 to 8 children, so they need pairs of shoes, indoor and outdoor shoes, they need clothing, they need haircuts, they need school supplies, and a fun day just to kind of get ready for school. So that's what we try to provide.
With most of the attendees coming from lower income communities in the area that house many of London's immigrants and refugees, there is always a good turnout to these events. And that is exactly what North Park Community Church wants as they work towards being an active part of their city. Matthew Eckert, pastor of community engagement, explains.
About 5-6 years ago, we were doing some reading. We actually watched a talk by, I forget who the speaker was, and he said to his congregation, if we close down today, would the city miss us? And he determined the city wouldn't care that they left. And we weren't sure about the answer. We wanted to make sure we did know the answer. And so from that point on, we said, okay, let's reach out to our city. What will it take? So yeah, I think it's just scripture that told us, get out there and make a difference.
And making a difference they have. Partnering with another community church, it's their parking lot that they use for this event. North Park now holds most of their outreach events here as well. One of them being the Life Resource Center, a drop-in program for new Canadians.
It's a ministry of North Park Church, and we're here to really provide community events, facilitate the community coming together, providing a place where youth and children and adults can come, meet others from the community, get to know them, support one another. Many of the volunteers, most of the volunteers here today live in this community and are part of this community and people that we've met through the years.
Sosina and Elvine are some of those volunteers. New to Canada as well, they have watched as their family has struggled with certain barriers immigrants face in this country.
Me and my family, we face language barriers, so it's challenging when you're trying to do something, but then you don't know how to explain it or you don't know how to get that thing. Language is the main barrier for us, and not knowing enough people and trying to meet people is also a barrier. So it's
and basically not knowing where the resources are is kind of really difficult for my family, because I think when we got here we didn't know nobody. It was just me and my family, and then after 5 months we met Dave and he helped us with so many stuff, so we're kind of grateful to know him.
Tendayi Gwaradzimba has been very fortunate in her journey. Arriving in Canada just a year and a half ago from Zimbabwe, she was able to get a job with the Life Resource Center. She came out today to help with the back-to-school event that she says is essential in helping the community with things some of us take for granted, like school supplies.
There is so many families that are struggling in our community, and also not only struggling, there are some that might not even know what kind of school supplies to get. So it's a little educational for them as they see this package. And they'll learn to recognize when they go to the bookstore what kind of things to buy for their kids, yes.
Another highlight at this event is the bike clinic and giveaway. With many community members not being able to afford cars, bikes are a prized possession.
Back in 2005, about 4 of us put some flyers out in a low-income area around nearby here. And 4 of us showed up on a Saturday morning and just see who would come out. And over a 3-hour period, we repaired close to 70 bikes. And we realized, okay, there's a big need for this. So the next year we did it 3 more times in different communities, and people kept coming out and bringing their bikes to be repaired. But we also realized that a lot of people didn't have bikes and couldn't afford bikes. And so the 3rd year we just invited people from our church to say, if you have a bike you don't need, donate it to us. And we'll fix it up and give it to those who can't afford one. And I figured, 50 to 100 bikes might show up. That first year I think it was 250 bikes got donated.
Now whole families have gained mobility because of this generosity. And David Cottrill hopes that events like these will continue to grow and become self-sustainable.
One of the important things for us is this is a sustainable activities, and this community can host these things themselves. So we're working towards that. We don't bring in a lot of outside things. We don't rent anything. We don't buy anything. We use whatever we can get donations, and whatever's here, that's what we have. So whether it's the haircuts, if we have people who can cut hair, we do that. If we can fix bikes, whatever it is the community has, that's what we do.
That is community working together. And that was the dream 5 years ago when North Park Community Church decided to actively get involved in their city. In London, Ontario, Magdalene John, 100 Huntley Street.